Good morning, everyone. I'm hoping that everyone can see my Ceco screen that's up. And my name is Rose Cliff Olson. I'm the Door Group Training Manager. Today, we will be walking through Ceco products, their applications, give you information about all of the doors and frames that Ceco has available, give you some high points, some applications, some benefits to the different types of doors that Ceco has. Also with me, I have Pat Wright, and we've got a little bit of a technical difficulty, but he is going to be manning the chat screen so that if you have questions, please type those in, and Pat will get those answered for you. If not, we will definitely get an answer for you, and we will email it to you. With that said, also I wanted to have everyone to be aware that we are recording this session, and we will have it available within 24 hours for you to be able to view it. You will get a thank you email from me that basically says as proof that you have attended this session. And along with that thank you email, it comes, you'll get it tomorrow. It will also, in the body of it, give you the link for this session also. Just in case you didn't write it down on the previous screen. So with that said, I'm going to start with our Ceco products. Here you will see all of the various, all the different service centers that we have across the country. With that, the different service centers do have, of course, different inventory, some capabilities. For instance, South Central, in Garland, Austell, they have bending capabilities. So they are able to take flat steel and bend the frame material for you. Each one of these service centers you have access to. You can go online and take a look at their inventory. The inventory right now is not live, but at least it shows you what they list as in-stock material. The one thing I want you to, if you have not had an opportunity to go to the Ceco website, please take a look at their homepage. They have a lot of good information on the Ceco website. We have the Built app, which is listed there. You'll see it at the top left there. This is a great app. It is not an Asa Abloy app, but it is a great app to give to your customers, to installers and so forth, to be able to show them how to install our frames, our doors, and it also has a hardware. Again, this is not an ASA app, so you will need to scroll and look for Ceco, but it will show you how to install all of our products. Also, Dave's opening blog, that is a great resource for you. We house a lot of different topics on the blog. We go into, say for instance, you were wanting to learn a little bit more, get some information about thermobow. You can go in and search keywords, and it will pull up all articles that we have associated with that keyword. If you have a topic that you would like for us to do a deep dive in, you can send that in to us, and our engineers and our different other technical people can take a look at that topic. We post an article every other month, I believe, but you can go in there and also sign up so that each time we post a new blog, you will get notified. Also, the biggest thing too is our Asa Abloy Academy. If you have not taken advantage of that, please do. We have hundreds and hundreds of classes that are available online that are free to you that you can take. And then you also receive a certificate of completion. We're going to get into Ceco frames. With their hollow metal frames, we have available from 18 to 12 gauge in masonry frame, and then 18 to 14 gauge in the drywall frame. Frames are also available cold rolled A60 and G90, galvannealed and galvanized material. We have a variety of different face sizes, jam depths. As you look at Ceco price book, you will see that you will be able to price all the way up to a 17 7/8 jam depth frame. We offer frames in all the way up to 17 7/8 in 1/8 inch increments. You can get these steel frames knockdown KD, as it says there, die mitered corners. It can be welded. Also, we have the various UL and Warnock fire rating labels available. Of course, in masonry frame, it goes up to 3 hours, and drywall is up to 90. Also, various types of anchors, and we can do factory pre-finish. As we look at the still frames, you'll see we have a complete line of masonry and drywall frames. To the right, you will see various options that are available. This by no means is all of the options that we have available, but you'll see we have quite a bit. As you look down the list, you'll see equal, unequal rabbited frames, double egress, thermal break types of frame, lead line, and so on. With our first frame is the S frame. This is what we call our standard frame. We have these in two different types of frame profiles. You have unequal rabbited and equal rabbit. The unequal rabbited will be your most standard type of frame. This frame accommodates either 1 3/4 or 1 3/8 door. Your equal rabbit will be for 1 3/4 thick door. The other upside to an equal rabbited frame is that if you have modification, say you get a frame that is an incorrect handing, you can take with an equal rabbit and punch in the correct swing on the other rabbit or the different modification on the other rabbit and blank out the other side. So it does have its place in our industry, but keep in mind, equal rabbit material is not readily available. We have a very small or very limited inventory in some of our service centers for equal rabbited material. Drilling down a little bit more on the SU or unequal rabbited frame series, you'll see some of the stock jam depths that are available. And again, the stock profile will be an unequal rabbited material. 12 gauge is also available in our SU frames. With the 12 gauge frame, you're going to see that type of frame spec more in your security, high security types of application. For instance, we have a product that is called a forced entry bullet resistant product, where the door and the frames are both 12 gauge. And again, this is a product for high security application. With the SU frame, it is available as knockdown or welded. And again, most of the SU frames that leave the factory will be KD, just for the simple purpose of being able to put more frames in that truck rather than welded. The chart at the bottom right just kind of gives you some additional information, and this information is also found in our tech data, which you can locate online. It gives you some of the dimensions of your rabbited material, your face dimension, and your back bends or return legs. Some additional types of masonry frames that we have available is the SQ, SC, SR. And as you look at the details to your right, the SQ is going to be your equal rabbit, your SC is your cased opening frame, and your SR is your single rabbit. The one thing with the single rabbit you do want to be aware of is when we get into those smaller jam depths, I believe it's 4.5 or 3 inch down, that material must be manufactured as a single rabbit due to the fact that we cannot bend that material to accommodate 2 rabbits on the frame. The other application for a single rabbit, which we see more common, is architects love the look of a frame that has a single rabbit, tends to be have a more sleek look to it. On your SC frame, your cased openings, of course, sometimes you'll hear it called trimmed opening, where you go from room to room. They don't need a door in there, so they just want to trim out the opening. Also, another application, if you think about like in a restaurant, into the kitchen, going back and forth, you need that frame to be a cased opening or trimmed opening frame, and put some sort of double acting hinges on that. Allows that door to swing back and forth into that kitchen area. The other type of frame that we have is a double egress, and the nomenclature for that is SE. And you'll see it as what we sometimes refer to as a stepped or a step down profile type of material. You will see this frame in your corridor applications. And again, sometimes people call it a barrier. You'll have it in long corridors. Most of the time, these doors in these frames are set back in the open position. You'll also see them to actually help with the flow of traffic. You'll see that this frame can be fire rated up to 3 hours. We have various types of frame dimensions that you can get on this, but the standard is going to be one side is 1 3/8 face, the other side will be 2 5/8. This shows you some of the more common jammed anchors that we have available. The one thing I want to touch on is on the floor anchors to the right there. With our SU, SQ frames, those are a masonry standard, equal or unequal rabited frames. A base anchor or floor anchor, which is that top right detail there, which is an SA welded in floor anchor, that comes standard with all of our masonry frames. The only way you will not get that is if you specifically order your material with no base anchor or no floor anchor, but all of our frames come with that. The next type of floor anchor you see underneath that will be more for special applications on the frames. A lot of times what you'll see is on a double egress especially, is that because of the profile of that frame, we cannot put a one-piece base anchor that goes the full width of the frame. So we have to do these L brackets or L anchor types of base anchors in the frames. The other frame at the below that is called our sidelight floor anchor. A lot of times you will see that for the most part on sidelight units where you've got the mullion and you want to help stabilize that mullion at the bottom of the frame, because the only other thing that's holding that again is probably the welding and the different sections of the frame. So you do need to have a floor anchor on those sidelight units. As you look at all of the various types of jam anchors there, you'll see we have wire anchors, our T anchors. Those are going to be your new construction standard anchors. Again, up to your customer on what type of anchor that they require for the various types of applications. Then we get into drywall frame, which we classify as a DU. It's a drywall unequal rabited frame. The standard detail with this frame is that you'll see below the description there, we'll have the plumb anchor, or some people call it a compression anchor. That is located on the top of your frames on both the hinge and the lock side. As you tighten down the screw, the plumb anchor or compression anchor tightens against your stud. At the bottom of the frame, you'll see to the detail to the bottom right, we have a countersunk hole, screw hole in the bottom of the frame, and that attaches the frame to the wall at the bottom. That is all that's holding that frame in to the wall. So therefore, you want to be aware of the various types of doors that are being put into this type of frame. These are interior frames. Sometimes you hear people call them slip-on, and office settings, applications with wood doors or lighter gauge hollow metal doors. These frames are not designed to be welded. Interior application. The other thing I wanted to bring to your attention is the fire rating with the drywall up to 1.5 hours, applied or embossed. With that, the embossed labels are pressed into the bare metal. So you want to be aware of that, because even though they are no charge on the embossed, and we can put those in from the factory, once it's embossed, we put a couple coats of primer on the frame. It goes to the job. They put a couple coats of paint on it. You may have a problem with not being able to see that fire rating embossed label into the steel. So be aware of that. Continuing with drywall frames, we have some other series, which is your DQ, DC, and DR. These again are going to be your equal rabited, your cased opening or trimmed opening frame for the DC, and your single rabited frames as listed in your DR. You'll also note the gauges are different. Be aware that not all of our frames can have all of the different jam depths. So it does make a transition from your masonry to your drywall frame. Another type of what we classify as a drywall frame is the BQ, BU, BR, and BC. The BQ is, all of these frames are technically masonry frames, but you'll see they have a back bend on them. So with that said, if you look at the detail to the top right, you see your frame, you see your metal studs there, and you see the drywall in behind the frame. Sometimes architects will draw a masonry frame with that back bend so that when that frame is set and they slide the drywall in behind the frame, it doesn't gouge out the wall. So with that, these are not a standard or stock item. They do need to be ordered, so therefore you'll have a little bit more lead time on these types of frames, so be aware of that. The gauges that are available in this type of frame from 18 to 14 gauge. Again, you can have an encased opening, which is your BC, and your single rabbet is your BR. And I see a typo error on the single rabbet. That should say 16 and 14, not 6 gauge. So I will get that changed. And then on custom frames, we have all the way from 18 down to up to 12 gauge on the various gauge steels, the hourly ratings. We can do bar lights, transom frames, side lights, arched curved frames. Basically, you want to, when we get into these custom frames, you want to give us as much information as possible. You know, if it's a step down type of frame profile, give us all of the dimensions on that if possible. Then the other type of frame I wanted to bring to your attention is the bituminous coating or back coating of our frames. Years and years ago, when this type of product was out in the industry, manufacturers, distributor was always exclude this from the job. And they would say that that back coating had to be done in the field because this back coating was so toxic that the distributor and the manufacturer didn't want their people handling this material. So it was always done in the field. If they were going to grout that frame and they wanted to help slow down the process of rusting from the inside out, they would want these frames back coated, or what we call bituminous coating. Probably about 7 or so years ago, 7, 8 years ago, the industry came out with a water-based, environmentally friendly type of back coating. This can be back coated on fire-rated frames or non-rated frames, borrowed lights, side lights, 3-sided frames. You can do it in your shop. We can do it at the factory. It can be done in the field also. Here's just a small section of the various types of frame profiles and back bends that Ceco can offer you. Again, these are made to order, all the various dimensions. For additional types of profiles and special back bends, please see the tech data that is online. And just a quick word on the fire resistive frame. This is a product that's being specified or being adhered to more and more on projects, and it's what we call the E119. This is a fire resistive or a temperature rise opening. This frame is classified or classified as part of the wall or the wall. Any of the test standards that you see at the very bottom of the screen here, ASTM E119, UL 263, or NFPA 251, if you see any of those test standards, please get in touch with your DSS, your local DSS, or the factory, because this type of frame and glazing is what they're looking for. Quite a bit more expensive, but again, this is something that is in the industry now, and we don't want you to overlook this. With it being fire resistive, again, I'm just very quickly on, it's a temperature rise type of opening. You can have it to look like it has mullions, or it can look like a wall of glass also. Some of the common applications for the E119 fire resistive you will see listed here. We also last year gave have this product now to have a bullet resistant. I believe it's a level 3 bullet resisting properties to this. And the one thing that we want to make sure of is if you're looking at the E119 product and you're looking at this going, I have no idea how to quote this thing, what should I do? Let us do all the work for you. We do have this quote form that you can fill in and send to us, and we can quote this material for you. And then we also have a form that you can order the material on, and then we will produce that material for you. Next, we're going to go into steel doors. With that, we have our composite or one-piece core types of doors. We have the Regent, Legion, Imperial, and Fuego, and we'll go through the various doors here in just a few minutes. And then we have our standard steel stiffened doors, which will be your medallions, your trio, trio E, and your restrict door, which is going to be your high security types of application. Starting with the Regent and the Omega. The way Ceco lists their doors is they'll give a series, if it's handed, or if it's non-handed, and then they break it down by core. So the Regent is your handed honeycomb core door. Your Omega is going to be your non-handed. And if you look at the detail at the bottom right for reversible and non-handed, the way Ceco does this is they cut through both skins of the door, and we supply a handing plate with the door. And that is with every door that we have that is a non-handed door. This allows you to flip that plate one way or the other and determine the handing of that door. You'll see that the Regent and the Omega door are available from 20 gauge all the way up to 16 gauge. And be aware of the various sizes, because as we go through the different types of doors, you'll notice that not all door cores are available in the same sizes. So be aware of that. You'll see the various fire rating labels or agencies that are available also on the doors. Some of the benefits for your honeycomb core door: again, competitive pricing. Believe it or not, higher STC than your urethane core. And here are the applications for the honeycomb core: office, nursing homes, multifamily, retail, schools. So you'll see this type of door with these various applications specified. The next type of door that we have is what we call our, it is our polystyrene core. The Legion is handed. The Ultra is non-handed. This is your, this is our standard insulated type of core. The one thing that's nice about an insulated core is that if you're talking to your customer and you trying to figure out where this door is to be used, with an insulated door, it can be used interior, exterior application. Most of our service centers inventory, a big majority of the inventory is going to be the polystyrene insulated core. It is available from 20 to 14 gauge. You'll see you can get this door all the way up to 10 foot tall. And then you'll have the various fire ratings listed there. The benefits of a polystyrene core door: competitive pricing based on insulated cores, because we do have another type of core that's insulated that we'll talk about here in a minute, and resistance to impact. The various applications are listed there. Another type of insulated door that we have is a polyurethane core, high impact resistant foamed in place core. If it's handed, it will be listed as an imperial door. If it's non-handed, reversible, is Versa door. This door is available from 20 all the way up to 14 gauge. Note that the imperial and the Versa door, it is only available up to 9 foot tall. Also, though, it does have availability to be fire rated up to 3 hours. With this door, because it is, if you're looking at an insulated application and your customer says, I need the highest or the best insulated door you have, it will be the polyurethane core door. It has the highest insulated values in our industry as far as insulated doors. So that is the type of door that you want to look at. Benefits for the urethane core door: heavy duty, energy efficient is the biggest with that. Has a very good insulating characteristics to it. Again, if you're looking for the highest insulating value on a door, it's going to be your polyurethane door. And your various applications for the urethane core will be hospital, nursing homes, and so on. The next door that we have available is what we call the Fuego door. This is our 250 temperature rise door. With this door, the most common application you'll see this is the stairwell application. The testing for this basically says for fire on one side of the door for the first 30 minutes of fire exposure to one side, the other side will not exceed 250 degrees. This allows people, the first 30 minutes really of a fire in a building is the most critical to get people out of the building and out to safety. So with that, we had to have a different type of mineral fiberboard core in this. And the one thing you don't want to do is miss this on a project. This is a fairly expensive door, but the application is the most common is going to be in your stairwells. You'll also see it in maybe flammable areas also, where they'll specify a 250 temp rise door. Benefits: to the Fuego or 250 temporized doors that I talked about with the stairwells, but also designed for any kind of temperature rise requirements. And you'll see some of the applications I talked about, the chemical or storage area, anywhere where there's flammable material that may be housed is where you will see the 250 temporized door specified. The medallion door is our steel stiffened door. This door, if you have an opening or an application where there's going to be a lot of use, a lot of abuse, for instance, on a dock door where you have the overhead doors and then you have the man door sitting there, they're bringing in goods and so forth into the building, that door will take a lot of abuse. Hospitals, schools, depending on the location, possibly will be taking a lot of abuse and use. So the medallion door is going to be your strongest that will withstand a lot of abuse. The way we make this door is we weld in 22 gauge metal stiffeners on the inside face of the door. We pack the voids with insulation. With that, you will see at some point spot weld marks on the face of the door. Again, this door is designed for strength and durability, not aesthetics. Also with that, even though our standard is 22 gauge stiffeners, sometimes depending on the applications, the architect will want those stiffeners inside the door to be a thicker gauge. And those are available all the way to 16 gauge. As you increase the thickness of those stiffeners, please increase the thickness of your steel skins on your doors. You'll also see that it's available all the way to 10 foot tall, and it is available in 3-hour fire rating. Benefits again here are listed: severe traffic openings, applications you'll see there, institutional stairwells, detention areas, things like that is where you're going to see the medallion door specified. And then we talked about the 250 temporizing. You notice that that was a one-piece core. If you have someone that's asking for a 450 temporized, please be aware that this door is a medallion or steel stiffened product. So therefore, you may see spot weld marks on the face of the door. If you can, go to the 250 because, again, it's going to be the best rated of temperaturized doors that we have. And then you don't have the issue of seeing or possibly seeing any spot weld marks on the face of the door. But this door is available for you, and you'll see the sizes and the gauges listed. The other thing is you'll notice that the stiffeners are only 22, so we do not allow you to use various gauges of stiffeners in this 450 temporized door. Again, you'll see the benefits and then the application for the 450 temporized door. We have behavioral or patient room access door. With this product, what it's designed is if you have any type of de-escalation room, holding areas, psych wards, things like that, where if someone's on the room side of that door and they barricade themselves in, you need to have someone on the corridor side to be able to open up the door, which is your small wicket door, and step through that opening without opening the full-size door. We provide this as a complete package with the door and the smaller wicket, the wicket door with a continuous hinge. You'll notice that we have the wave type of lock with this product. Again, we are designing this product so that someone on the inside of that room cannot harm themselves. Some of the benefits for this BH or patient room access door you'll see listed there. And also the different types of applications that we've talked about: de-escalation rooms, psychiatric facilities, assisted living, anywhere where you want to make sure that if something happens on the inside of that room, a caregiver can actually still open that door. Excuse me. The next door that we have is what we call our trio door. This is, as it shows there, laminate steel stiffened core. With the trio door, the beauty of this door, and we'll talk about with the trio E here in a little bit also when we get into sustainability, but with this trio door, we take those stiffeners, we weld it to what I call a subsheet, an additional sheet of steel, and then we put it inside the door. So the stiffeners are placed 6 inches apart, and then we pack it full of insulation. So the upside to this door is not only do you have a steel stiffened product, which has the strength that also for durability, and if it's going to take a lot of abuse, But you also have the ability to then put a high gloss finish paint on this door, because you're not going to see spot wall marks coming through the face of the door. You'll see there listed 22 gauge stiffeners, the gauges that are available, the sizes that are available, 3-hour rating on this. And again, some of the benefits are listed there. No vertical marks on the face of the door. Again, so you can do a high gloss finish paint if required. And the applications you will see here: school entrance, stairwells, toilet rooms, institutional. Again, any place that they want that strength of a still stiffened product, but they want the face of the door to not to have any type of spot wall marks on the door. We get into some of our security types of doors. The Maxim Door is your 1 3/4 thick door. Your Restrict Door is your 2-inch thick door. What we do with this Restrict Door is we take those stiffeners and we place those 4 inches apart and rather than 6 inch apart. So with that said, you're going to get a door on the width. It's going to have more stiffeners in there. So that's how one of the things we do to beef up this door, along with it being a 2-inch. You'll notice that it is available in 14 and 12 gauge. The various the gauges there, or the steel is material cold rolled A60 G90. Also can be fire rated and has STC properties to it. Again, your benefits: designed to handle the stress and abuse and different types of applications. And then also you'll see the various applications listed there. The style and rail, Ceco lists that as a through light. This is a tubular style and rail type of product. So again, it's going to be a product, if you're having a look, if you have want the look of an aluminum, but you need the strength of it being metal, it is going to be insulated, 16 gauge. It can be galvanized. We can mimic the aluminum, so we can do the narrow styles and rails to this product also, and can have a fire rating up to 45. With that, the benefits: again, you've got a tubular style and rail type of construction. This product is not anywhere inventoried, so it is a custom, and it will have an additional lead time to this. And again, your applications: cross corridors, vestibules, office buildings. And a lot of times you will see these products on entrance, and they'll be, 9, 10-foot tall doors with different types of really nice hardware on them, pivots, floor closers, with this type of product. And then we're going to jump into hurricane and tornado types of products that we have. And again, we have hurricane resistance. If you go to the Ceco website and look for more information there on their website, we have all of their sizes that are available. Different types of glazing options are available with our hurricane resistant material. And we have people that at the factory that can give you additional information on this type of product. But again, we have all these different sizes, the core constructions that are listed there, and different type of glazing options are also listed on our website. The design pressure, water infiltration, we have all that information listed on our website. We also have tornado resistant FEMA type of doors and frames that are listed. We have shutters available also. We also offer this in commercial and residential types of tornado resistant products. Again, additional information is listed on our website. We have sustainable solutions. The one thing with Asa Abloy's new products that are developed, we always try to make sure that they have these various types of solutions, sustainable solutions with the product. Indoor air quality, which is your Green Guard Gold certification. We want to make sure that our doors and frames are not emitting any kind of gas or odor from them. Glazing, site light, daylighting. Doors and frames should have the capability to have different types of glazing in them. Study shows that if you are in a room and you have natural light coming in, you work better, you feel better. So we want to make sure our products can accommodate those. Transparency, we try to be as transparent as possible. Actually, we have what is called a declared label. It's more like an ingredients list. and we'll show this to you in the next couple slides, but it kind of goes through and it shows you what it takes to make up this door. And then on the energy efficient side, we talked about the trio. We'll talk about the Trio E, the Mercury, and the curved opening frames that we have available to take care of those types of needs. The one thing, if you're like me, I kind of get a mental block when it comes to your R and your U factor. And the one thing I really like about Ceco website is if you go under the Sustainable Solutions, it has this chart that you see to the right there. Kind of details out your U factor and your R ratings. And the nice thing with this chart is it goes through, and again, my thing is that I don't need to know everything. I just need to know where to go to get the information. So if you go to the Ceco website and under Sustainable Solution tab, you'll see this chart there. Really nice because it tells you the Trio E, which we're going to talk about here in a few, but the Trio E or the polyurethane and still stiffen with the different types of frames, what your U factor is, what your R value will be, which you can then look at your specification and see, okay, this is the type of door, this is the type of frame that I'm going to need to provide with those different types of specs. So please take advantage of the website. It has a lot of good information in there under sustainability solutions. And then as we go through, I talked about a little bit about the declared label. You can kind of see there, it talks about, this is looking at the Legion and the Ultra Door, the polystyrene core, gives you all the information there, and then it gives you your ingredients list for that type of door. And then we also have some additional sustainable solutions that we comply with. This is the health or HPD. This is, as it says there, a tool for accurate reporting the product content. The EPDs, we've talked about declared, the green circle, and then the green guard certification. And again, you'll see all of these solutions listed on our products. You'll see it on our website also. If you go under products also, it will tell you all of this information. The Trio E door is our type of sustainable solution door, and it's like the Trio door, except for you'll see the closer picture there. You'll see the stiffeners welded to a subsheet and then put inside the door. With the Trio E, E is for energy efficient, so we pump liquid urethane, polyurethane into the door, which becomes your really energy efficient type of product. Again, the nice thing with this also is that you have the strength of it being still stiffened. With the polyurethane, liquid urethane pumped into the door, you have the energy efficiency of the door, and then you don't have to worry about spot wall marks coming through or bleeding through on the face of the door. Your benefits, they're listed, and then some of your applications for the Trio E door. Our Mercury Door is another type of energy efficient type of product, and you may say, well, why in the world would you have two? You've got the Trio E and now you've got a Mercury Door system. The one great thing about this is we not only have a type of thermal break or energy efficient type of frame, but we have the door itself. With the Mercury Door, we have rods that are installed or welded into this door, and then we pump it full of polyurethane liquid core. So you not only have the door, but you have a frame, not only frame rather, and the door. The door also has a patent pending on this door because of the process. So we're the only ones in the industry makes this type of energy efficient door, which we call the Mercury Door. And you'll see here that also, like I talked about, the polyurethane foam that is more sustainable, and then the energy efficiency. And again, the reason we have this is on the Trio E. If you're doing a project and they're looking at the Trio E and then they come back and talk about the cost, you have another solution to give to offer them, which is our Mercury system. And as you said, there's price, it's listed price approximately 10% lower than similar energy efficient solutions. So we try to make sure that on the various types of openings, we have a solution for that opening. And you'll see the various applications there for the Mercury system. Real quick, we have two different types of thermal break frames. We have the old system and then we have the Mercury system, which are both available. Your old riveted type of frame design is going to have a really long lead time on that. We don't use it as much, but we've had a lot of, quite a few customers, especially like in Alaska, that really like this design of the old style. So we do have it, but it has a very long lead time. Please go to the Mercury frame when you're looking at an energy efficient type of application. The other one we have is the curved frame. This is a really great frame. With this, we supply the frame along with the weather strip, and it's just another option for you to have in your back pocket. When you have, looking at this frame, the weather strip, other than like the stick-on kind, if it gets damaged or whatever, you know, trying to peel that off the frame, this curved frame, the weather strip slides out. You can reorder it and slide it back in. The frame itself comes with the frame and the weather strip. Then we get into the various decorative solutions that we have available for you. The high-def embossed doors. If you're doing a standard apartment type of project, you know, the 6-panel door might be exactly what they're looking for. But you get into your high-end office settings, some different types of application where they want a really nice looking and defined type of embossed doors. We have those available for you. In the 1 and 2 panel, you'll see 6 and 8 panel design, ADA compliant, also with the polystyrene, and 3-hour availability, 3-hour fire rating available on these doors, along with an STC all the way up to 48. And again, we see a lot of these in office settings. So again, your benefits there, again, energy efficient, makes high-def embossed doors cost effective to your standard wood, style, and rail doors. And you'll see the various applications listed there. I think by far this is probably my favorite door. This is the Madera Door. The steel is brought in and the etchings are put in there from our vendor. And when the door comes in, we hand stain it. We have 6 standard colors, but we can match anything. You can get this with 6-panel embossment. As you see there, half glass or 2-panel at the bottom. Once we do the hand staining of this product, then we put a clear UV top coat on this door. So it protects that door. This door can be fire rated up to 3 hours. So when you're looking for a solution that you know the customer wants something that other than a wood door, but he still wants the look of wood, you can offer him the Madera Door. If he has a special color, we can match that also. And again, the look of wood with the strength of steel. And you'll see the applications there for the Madera Door. The other thing with the Madera Door, Ceco has a really nice sample book, and it shows the 6 standard colors. If you want that or need that, please get in touch with your DSS if you have a customer that wants to actually see a sample of the 6 colors. We can also provide factory installed glazing. Again, there's a variety of different glass available that you want to take a look at in our tech data. And again, a lot of things with the installed glazing is on the job site. You know, you don't have to worry about a glazer, especially if you have a project, you have a handful of doors, it's in a remote location. Ideally, it's a good idea actually to have those doors sent out glazed, factory glazed. And then we have all the variety of different pre-finishing. Basically, if you send us a color chip, we can match that. The one thing I do get questions on from time to time is that when it's a special color, will we start to process that order before we get an approved color chip back? And we will not. So keep that in mind, because sometimes getting that color sample approved will take weeks on end to get that back from the architect and whoever else has to sign off on it. So please be aware that, inform them that there will be no engineering, no factory ordering of this product until we get an approved color chip back. And then I want to touch very briefly on specialty products that we have. Some of you probably have gone through webinars on this, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but I just want you to be aware of with our specialty products, we have a team of people that do nothing but work on these types of products. We can offer you submittal packages. at no charge. We just need to have a letter of intent or a purchase order to start that process. If you need us to look at or interpret the specification, you're not really sure about that, let us do all of that for you. So with that, with some of the specialty products we have is our bullet, blast, RF shielded openings. RF shielded openings, applications, well, a lot of times I think about is those rooms where you have high security information or discussions, or data centers where you don't want someone being able to access that information from the outside. So we have those products available. And a lot of these products we also have is what we call hybrids. So if you had an RF, like I know of a project we did with RF shielding products along with an STC 48 rating on the openings. So again, these, you won't see those listed anywhere, but if you have that type of situation, please contact our specialty team. Acoustical, stainless steel. Acoustical doors, and openings, we go all the way up to a 66. Forced entry products we have. Attack resistant, flood, lead, and water resistant. Again, go to the Ceco website. We have a PDF brochure that you can download to get in more information on these products. And then the next, the last two products I want to do a high level on is our right door and our right slide product. Our right slide is just, I think a month ago, we introduced this into the market. So we're just going to touch on these two products we have. The right door is an integrated door system. The one thing with the right door, which is really great, is that it basically can go into the wall. The exit device is inset into the door itself. These products are designed to be aesthetically and pleasing and function properly. So again, you will see these in corridors and things like that for the integrated right door system. Here you'll see the benefits of this. And again, the other benefit I didn't talk about is the pre-assembled. We have the hardware that's installed in these doors for you. And the application for the right door, again, elevator lobby. Before we did the lockdown, we were in lockdown here, or stay-at-home stay. I was in a hotel and I was there for like 3 nights. The second night was the first time that I actually saw at the elevator that there was a right door sitting there. And just because it was pretty much melt into the wall, and there wasn't any anything that was that you could look at this and go, oh, that's that type of door. Again, the aesthetics of this is a beautiful application, a beautiful type of door for those different types of applications. The last one, excuse me. The last product we have is the right slide. And this is a product that is really new to us that we've introduced into the market. Again, with swing doors, you have a lot of real estate that's taken up when that door is opening up. With the right slide, sliding that door against the wall is a great application. We have this product in non-acoustical, and we can also give it to you in an STC 34. Again, you can contact your DSS. I'm looking at these right slides, but this is a new product for us. And again, it's becoming very popular in our industry when you're looking at projects where they want something other than a swing door. And last are the various types of organizations. These are some of our standard ones that you're probably familiar with, but we always like to reiterate on our different types of industry organization. The Still Door Institute, stilldoor.org is probably the one website that I go to the most. This is where we list all of our SDI documents. You'll see all the ANSI documents that are listed in your specifications. So if you're not really sure about what that ANSI 8250.8 is, you can go to this website and take a look and see what that document is. The other thing is really good about the Still Door website is they have a lot of videos on installation. It shows you how to install a frame in a block wall or a masonry wall, how to install a drywall frame, things like that. So it has a lot of different videos. So I would suggest if you haven't taken the time to really look at that website, go in there and take a look at all of the resources that are available to you. DHI, you have also your NFPA 80, which we have guidelines and codes and standards that we comply with. IBC, and then BHMA is also some more standard organizations that you will see. So with that, I want to thank everyone for attending. And Pat, I don't know if you had questions. Thought I saw a couple pop up in chat. If those questions can't be answered, we will definitely get you answers to your questions. We have your email address, so we can send those answers directly to you. Again, this session is recorded, and tomorrow it will be available. Also, you'll get a thank you email from me tomorrow verifying that you did attend this session, and also just information also on the link to view this presentation again. So with that said, everyone, thank you. Please stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.